So far, we've done relative links, and we've done absolute links. And what we're going to do now is internal links. And internal links are links from one area on a page to another. So I'm going to right-click on this, and I'm going to save it into my Lesson 3 folder. And then I'm going to right-click on high security on my system here. I'm going to right-click on Rock and Roll. And I'm going to put that in the media folder. So at this point, I've got my page, I got my graphic, and I'm going to move this out of the way. And here is Top Rock. There's no reason to keep the other ones open, so I'm going to go ahead and close them. And I'm going to open up Top Rock. And it is helpful if we look at this in the browser. I'm going to come over here, and we'll go ahead and pop this open. And just so you can see what that looks like. And next week, we will be styling this so it'll look a lot prettier. But what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be adding internal links. So when you click on these years, it's actually going to scroll down to the beginning of the year. And then you'll notice that it says back to the top. When we click on that, it's going to pop back to the top of the page. Yeah, so back to VS Code. In order to create these internal links, the links are going to end up going up here at the top, but we have to give those links a target. And to give it a target, we have to add the ID attribute to the location we want to link to. So the first step is to add these IDs. And we are going to be putting them where we have the years. Okay, so that was 1950, here's 1960. So inside the H1 is where we're going to put the ID. So up here, I'm going to click right next to H1, put in a space. So I'm inside the tag, and I'm going to say ID equals, and then in double quotes, 1950. And then I'm going to come down here to 1960. I'm clicking right inside the tag. I'm going to do a space, ID equals, double quotes, 1960. Okay. And if you don't like typing, you certainly can copy. It's down here, we've got 1970. You just have to remember to change the year. And this was 80. And then we got 90. And this is 2000. So at this point, I have now targeted all those years. I need one more target. And this is for when they click on back to the top. We actually want it to go all the way to the top of this page. So where I am going to put this is right inside this opening H1. So right below my header, inside the opening H1 for Top Rock songs. I've got ID equals, and this is not going to be a year. We're just going to use the word top. Oop. Make sure you've got your double quotes around that. And let me save the changes. So at this point, I've got all my targets set. My next step is to add the links themselves. The text right here, this is the text that we want for the link. So right before it, that's where I have to put my opening anchor. And href, if you don't remember, stands for hypertext reference. And when you're doing an internal link, you have to begin it with a hashtag or a pound, followed by whatever you set the ID to. So I've got this set to 1950. Okay, so I've got hashtag 1950. That is going to take me down here. I've got to move my closing anchor after the text that I'm going to use for my link. And you might be wondering, what is this funky little code? Well, that code is HTML for an apostrophe, because we have 1950s, so it's got apostrophe S. So that is what that little code is. Okay. And you'll notice that some of them have it, some of them don't. If it really bugs you, you could probably just get rid of it and do an apostrophe S and it'll work just fine. Used to be a lot pickier about this stuff. Ampersand NBSP is a space, just so you know. So this little funky code here is the HTML for an apostrophe. And as I said, you know, if if you think that it's really confusing, you can just get rid of it and put in an apostrophe S, because that will work too. Okay, and I'm going to keep both in here just so you can see that it works. Anyway, back to linking. We're going to do another one here. So this is hashtag 1960. And we'll take that and move it. And you can see that these are going to be really similar. So I'm just going to copy and paste right before each year. And then I'm going to change the years. So this is the bottom one is 2000, got 1990, 80, 70. All right, so those are all set up. Closing anchors need to be moved. All right, so let's save this. We'll test those out. Oh, of course it went over here. There. Let me reload. All right, we'll go down to 2000. So that worked. Unfortunately, I haven't set up back to the top yet, so I'm just going to press Control and Home. And let me try another one. Yep, that worked. Control and HOME, Home. All right, so those appear to work. So now I am going to code the link that'll take me back up to the top. So if we look down here at the bottom, after the very last song, that is where we have back to the top. And what we're going to want to do right before the back to the top with the bracket here, right after the opening P, this is where we're going to do our hypertext reference, and it's hashtag top. And we'll move that closing. And the good news is all of the back to the top links are identical. I'm going to highlight all of it and copy. Then I'm going to come down here, highlight and paste. And I'm just pressing Control and the letter V. And I'm going to paste again. We'll do another paste. Whoop. And if you mess up, Control and Z is universal for undo. We'll try that again. Okay. At this point, I believe I have all of them in here. So I'm going to press Control and S. And let us check this out. So now I have back to the top, which does make my life a little easier. And it also, everything does appear to work. So at this point, we are now done with all of the exercises, and you can transfer them to the web.